Alright, this is going to be a video of this 52-inch Compass East Industries, or more commonly referred to as C.E.I. brand ceiling fan, that I got at my local Habitat Restore. I got it because I'm actually a volunteer there, and for those who don't know, what I do for them is refurbish ceiling fans that receive better donation, and make them more sellable and run better than how they previously came in. Without any further ado here, I'm actually going to demonstrate the fan. And first, start with the light kit. As you can see, this does work. And I'm using 4 60-watt equivalent energy-saving compact fluorescent bulbs in there, which output a pretty good amount of light. I'll turn that off. Now for the fan itself, starting out with the high speed. And I'm not sure how clearly it actually comes out on camera in terms of audio, but the fan does make a clicking noise, particularly on the high speed. It almost sounds as if something's scraping inside the motor, but I'm not really 100% sure. It could also be the bearings, as I know this fan did have pretty worn out bearings, especially when I first got it, prior to oiling. As performance goes, it actually is a pretty decent running fan otherwise. It spins pretty fast at around maybe 225, 230 RPM, and blows a pretty good amount of air too. Surprisingly, the fan only has a 153 by 12 motor in it, so I was definitely not expecting such a good performance. Next, for medium speed. This is going to slow down to around maybe somewhere close to 185, maybe 180 RPM, somewhere in that range. And last but not least, the low speed, which I'll show with the fan and light on running simultaneously here. And this is probably going to go at about 55 to 60 RPM. So it's kind of your typical low speed of your 90s, your average 90s fan. Nothing too special, but still somewhat aesthetic, I guess. Anyway, I'll turn that off. And I'm going to be discussing some general information on the fan itself. Like I said, it is a Compass East Industries. The reason I know that is because the fan was actually manufactured in Thailand. And I know Compass East Industries actually used Taiwanese manufacturing before they switched to Thailand in 1988. And this fan actually is unbranded otherwise. There's really no indication of what name it was sold under. I'm guessing that it possibly could have been Kenmore, just due to the looks of it, because it looks just a little bit too fancy and upscale for a Walmart fan. Like I said though, I'm really not 100% sure. Last but not least, I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of the fan, and what I would rank it out of 5 stars, beginning with the pros. Surprisingly, for such an economy fan, it actually does have decent performance, spins rather fast, and blows a good amount of air. And also, it does have a unique style to it, blending contemporary elements like the blade brackets and blades, and more traditional ones like the globes and light kit. Another thing is the fan is actually in fairly decent shape. There's really no real scratching on it. The blades still have a nice gloss finish and aren't too scuffed up. And overall, it looks like it was decently maintained, other than being kind of dusty and having bad bearings. What I don't like, however, is the fan is noisy when it runs due to the ticking, and also it isn't the most versatile because the blades are just oak on both sides. They're not reversible. I would have really liked if they actually included a rosewood side, as I think that would have looked nicer, but that's just my personal opinion. Overall, I'd probably have to give the fan 3.5 out of 5 stars. It is pretty nice looking, does actually perform pretty well, but it's definitely not the best fan in the world, which just goes to show looks definitely aren't everything. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed the video, and if you know exactly what brand this could have been sold under, please share your thoughts in the comment box down below. So, I hope you enjoyed.